Alright, so we're going to start Revit 2019 Demo 6. So we're going to open up Revit 2019 Demo 5. This section is putting your work onto paper in Revit. The Revit title blocks are under Sheets in the project browser, so if you head down to Sheets, you can pick Sheets All, and nothing's there right now. But if we right-click and create a new sheet, it's going to have a default E1 30 by 42 horizontal paper size loaded. We want a different size. So we're going to pick Load. We're going to go to the Imperial Library, US Imperial Library, scroll down to Title Blocks, and we want to load a D size 22 by 34 horizontal and click Open. Now you have two choices. Pick the D22 by 34 horizontal size sheet and hit OK. Let's put the 4 elevations on the sheet. Let's select East elevation. It should be highlighted. So I'm going to select it. Drag it onto the sheet by holding the left mouse button down, then releasing it in the sheet. So we're going to drag and drop. Zoom in to see your work, and you're going to repeat the process for all the other elevations. So we're going to go to North, drag and drop. We're going to align that view title with the other viewport. We're going to drag and align that view title with that viewport, and drag and align that with that viewport. We'll get into the alignment a little bit more as we kind of get through. Notice the elevation marks and the labels. They're all automatic. You can zoom and pan without losing your scale. It's all tied together in a database. So try this. Go to your south elevation in the sheet, south elevation, and let's make the level lines a little shorter horizontally. So we're going to drag them to be a bit shorter. So we're just tidying up the viewport. So I'm now going to deactivate the view. What I did to do that is I double-clicked the viewport and began dragging. And then I'm right-clicking and deactivating. So the viewport must be activated. So you can activate the view here. You can also contextually activate the viewport up here. And there isn't a deactivate button for the viewport up here, but there is in the right-click. You can deactivate the view there. Just think of it as if you're going from the sheet to the view back to the sheet, all within the sheet. So we're now going to activate the east elevation and drag the level lines closer to the building. So activate view, drag the level lines. Notice that they're following themselves. Top is following the bottom now. So we're just aligning. We're now going to deactivate the view. Notice the west line moves too. They are planes. So notice that the west has changed, the south has changed, and the north has changed. So if I adjust these to be near these, they're now aligned there and there, but not here. But I can activate this view and align them as well. So we're going to deactivate the view. Continue the process until all the level lines are closer to the building. Show how to shorten the title bar. So I'm now going to show you how to shorten the title bar. I'm aligning it to that corner. It should only be the view of what the distance is of that particular title. So I want to keep it aligned to the view. So same thing, I'm just dragging the title over, aligning those, and aligning the tail. Same thing here, aligning. I'm going to align this one to this bottom one. So those are all set. Now we want to name our sheets. Currently our sheets are unnamed. You can see that on the title block. If you zoom in on the lower right corner of the title block, the sheet name and the number are illustrated. If you go back to Sheets in the project browser, we'll double click on Sheets and you'll notice that A101 is unnamed. You can right click here and rename it, so you can assign a new name, and we can name the sheet exterior elevations in capitals. Exterior elevations. We want to give a sheet number A501. A501. We're going to hit OK. So notice that as I adjusted that from the Sheets browser, it updated the sheet name and the number. The sheets update automatically. If you notice the plus sign next to A501 in the sheets, you'll notice that the views are placed on the sheets. If you double click on the little icon to the elevation east, notice that it takes you to that elevation. Also notice the east elevation is highlighted. Go to floor plan level 1 and notice the elevation tags. They're all now labeled. So you have view 3, view 1, view 2 on A501, and view 4 on 501. They update as elevations are placed on a sheet. So move them a little closer to the building. So we're going to move these just a tad bit closer. They don't have to be aligned in the views. Now what you need to understand is that there's a blue elevation line, so you can see it here. The blue elevation line is that it's associated to the building. So the view crop region that we've adjusted is the overall length of this segment. The dimension scale will not be an issue in Revit, which is not totally true. Sometimes the dimension scale can become an issue. What's important is to know that if we want this to be 1/4 inch, it's going to update those sizes. Notice if it's 1.5 inches, it's a lot smaller. For this particular example, we're going to leave it at an 1/8 inch. Let's make a sheet for floor plan 1. So you're going to click on Sheets. You're going to right click. You're going to create a new sheet. You're going to take a D-size sheet again and hit OK. And then you're going to pick level 1 in floor plans. So you're going to go to level 1. And you're going to drag that into the sheet that you just created. So you want to select it and click and drag and place it on the new title block. In the title block, we want to rename A201 first floor. So we can assign A201, and we can assign this as capital first floor. Notice that it's updating the name of the sheet in the left. Note the project browser updates automatically. Select in the viewport, right click, activate the view. Notice the bar at the bottom. Change the scale to 3/16 equals 1 foot. So we're going to find 3/16 equals 1 foot. We're going to right click, we're going to deactivate. We're going to center this in on the sheet. And note the title block scale. So the title block scale is updated. So we can drag this out, and now you've got your title block updated. So our sheet naming conventions are located on page 51 in the Gallatin College Revit book. And I want you to go through and create sheets for all of these assigned naming conventions. So A100, A200, A300, 400, all the way through 900. In this lecture, you have learned how to place views on a sheet, activate a view within a sheet, and properly name a sheet, and utilize the sheet naming conventions. So we're going to go ahead and File, Save As, Project, revit2019demo6, and hit Save.